Hey Flosstube, this is Kim the 303 Stitcher, and welcome to my little corner of the interwebs. If you are new here, this is my channel all about cross stitch. And if you are returning, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I know I've had some new subscribers since I recorded last, which was on November 11th. Of 2025. And so I just wanted to also say thank you to those new subscribers. Really appreciate you all being here. Today is December 1st of 2025. If I haven't said that already. So I'm coming back for an update. Actually, I'm pretty excited. November was a great stitching month. I actually posted on my Instagram if anybody saw that. The numbers were a little off once I started going through it. I thought that 19,000 was a little high. And I noticed that I had an extra like 400 stitches in one of my projects that I didn't entered on one day that wasn't actually there. So, anywho, let's see here. So let's just do a quick month recap for November. And if I'm looking down, it's because I have all of my notes are right here on my Remarkable. So November by the numbers, I worked on 12 projects. I had one new start. I don't have the new start down here with me today. As you can see, I'm in a different space than I have been previously. My wife is at home, and so it's hard to record upstairs where I keep all of my projects. And so I had to bring everything downstairs, get the cat put away, all of that fun stuff. So, but yeah, so I had one new start. I did show that on the November 11th update. It was the haunted house by Cottage Garden Samplings, and that was the one of their fabulous houses. So I started that. I only did 101 stitches in it. So I did a total of 18,799 stitches in the month of November, which is pretty good, considering we had holidays and work was a little chaotic towards the beginning of the month. So, yeah, I will go ahead and just jump into projects and show y'all what I've been working on. A majority of my stitching that I'm going to show you was probably temperature stitching. I actually only worked on, since you saw me last, 2 just like regular projects that are not temperature stitching for me. And so the first one, and these are in no particular order. If I have pictures, I'll show them. If not, I'll put them in. I actually probably have some time to do some editing today. I actually took an extra couple of days off from Thanksgiving from work, so I actually don't go back to work until Wednesday. So this is going to be, and sorry, this is a wrinkly, it's been in my project bag for this. This is Dumbledore's Library. This is by the Cross Stitch Studio. It is 800 by 800 and it is 119 colors. So that's what it will look like when it's done. I really should like print this and laminate it or something. I am doing, so I'll show you the process here. I originally started this and just started stitching on it. And again, I just took everything out of, well, I didn't take everything out of Q-Snap, so I took this out of Q-Snap. So it is, I haven't ironed it or anything. So I actually started just kind of like, you can see, I just always start in the upper left-hand corner, and I just kind of started stitching. Also, sorry about the lighting today. It's not 100%, because I am in the basement, but, and that's actually upside down. Let's try this way. But you can see I started stitching in here, and it definitely has some colors in there. But once I realized how much 939 is in this project, I actually decided that I'm just gonna do all of the 939 first, and kind of all of those like darker, heavier colors. So there's 939, there's 310, I'm sure. There's probably 823. So yeah, so I'm just gonna do all of the darker colors first and kind of go from there, so you can kind of see where this is at. I'm just up in that upper corner and kind of working wherever that dark color comes in at. And so for this project this month, also this is 32 count, even weave, easy count. This is actually, you can kind of tell like by looking at it. First of all, it's huge. Second of all, this is the stiffest even weave that I have. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it was like super starchy or what, but when comparing and feeling all of my other even weaves, that one is so stiff. I realized it when I was like taking it out of the Q-snap. I was like, holy cow, this thing could stand on its own. Okay, so Dumbledore's Library, I did a total of 595 stitches on that. So again, it was probably, let me pull that back out. I'm sure that it was just in this section here. So yeah, so that's where I am on Dumbledore's Library. I probably will be picking that up again this month. I think I had a plan for it. Maybe, I can't remember. There was something that was like stitching attached to like a Harry Potter movie that I think that I was gonna do. I didn't write down my plans. They're all up here and it's Monday and I just got the kids off to school. So it'll probably be there later. Okay, so the next project I'm gonna show y'all is gonna be the other regular non-temperature stitching project. This is actually gonna be my focus for 2026. So my goal for this year is to get this to 40% and if not more. But at least 40%. And I just picked this back up and started working more heavily on it in October, like middle of October, after I finished Treasures of the Sea. So this is Chimera. This is Black Rose Max Color. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is a Lori Prindle. And I did take it out of the Q-snap for y'all this time. So yeah. You can see she is looking so good. You can see her face. Let's see if I can get that in there. Yeah, so that is, you kind of see where her face is. You can see where I'm working. I've still got some hanging threads, but hopefully next time that y'all see this, those will be gone. And so yeah, I'm focusing on finishing that by the end of December of 2026. I have it in my Notion right now to finish by December 31st of 2026. I think markup is saying that if I keep doing about 450 stitches in that a day, or I think it's just shy of 29,000 a week, I actually would be on target. We're finishing that probably closer to the beginning to mid-December. So obviously we all know how stitching goes, and sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. So luckily I have a lot of PTO from work, and so when I'm off and having a staycation, usually I will get a lot of stitching in. So for that project, since you saw it last time, I didn't write it down, but I think it was just over, I want to say like 8,000 stitches. And then a total of, for the month, I did, of November, it was 14,429 stitches on her. So yeah, I'm really happy with how she's coming along, and those colors, and just, I don't know, like the motion of the mane in a cross stitch, like the fact that you could get that much like kind of like wispy looking, I don't know if you noticed, but in there, I just, yeah, I'm like, that is impressive to me. So I love watching her come together. I was a little nervous in the face at first, and then once I started getting more of the colors in next to it, it all kind of came together and started popping out. So I thought it was going to be really dark. So yeah, like I said, if I have pictures, I will probably edit and put them in. The next project that I worked on, again, no particular order, is one of the tarot cards from Witchy Stitcher. And I don't have a picture of this. I have two other pictures of projects in it, but not that one. But I will at least use this since I am doing this on plastic canvas. Let me actually take this off. So this is Temperance. You can see everything straight through, that's fine. So yeah, this is Temperance. And on Temperance, this is actually one of my temperature stitches. So since the last time y'all saw it, I did 102 stitches. We are at 2008 out of 5,338 for a 37.62% on this. I think this is a 16 count like black canvas that I got, like plastic canvas that I got from Amazon, I think. And yeah, so this is one of my temperature stitching, and so it came out once between the 11th and now. And for the month of November, this one got 208 stitches total. So I know I finished, it was in here, like I worked in, I did this little ghosty and this little candy, like in this section here is where those stitches are. I will be putting these back in bags and stuff, so sorry if rustling or anything bothers you. Again, I have pets, so I try to keep them as organized as possible. The next one is going to be Waterhole Master. I do have a picture of this one. This is also another temperature stitch. So that's what this will look like when it is done. And this one got, let's see. So this one has been out once for temperature stitching. And this was got 106 stitches. So my goal every time it's called is 100, but sometimes I'll stitch over if I'm finishing off a thread or anything like that. So this one has 6,683 stitches out of a total of 257,888. I'm at 2.59%. One quick thing that I actually have a note in here, sorry, going back to temperance. So I actually pulled the temperatures for this month. I pulled them on Saturdays. And I go from, so this would be from November 30th to December 6th. So actually, the tarot card was called once this coming week. So, I will be working on that one time this coming week. So this is Waterhole Master. This is actually called twice this week. This is, I believe, number 2 on my temperature stitch. And I, again, have been working on all of the 310 on this. So you can see, look at the giraffe. That's where I've been working at. So you can totally tell that that is going to be a giraffe. And then over in this section actually is the start of the elephant in that picture. So yeah, but I'm like, ooh, a giraffe. So it's kind of fun doing 310 and kind of seeing things start to like pop in that are identifiable. So this is on I think this is also on a 32 count, but you can tell this is so much softer, like not as wrinkly. It won't stand up on its own. So that is Waterhole Master, and that's by Heaven and Earth Designs. Actually, this is the max color version, and the artist is David Tenbaum. Again, sorry for the crinkling. And so Waterhole Master for the month got 511 stitches. The next one is that I did not work on, so we can, I don't know why I grabbed this one, but we can put that one away. That was not one I worked on. The next one that I worked on is going to be Pricks Everywhere. This is a sunflower stitches project. I'm not going to take it out of the Q-snap. I mean, you can see it's a tarot card, so it's literally like, I haven't connected the bottom yet apparently, but that's okay. So this one is also a temperature stitch. And this one came out once since the 11th, and I did 143 stitches on it. So this one is at 6,167 out of 89,666 for 6.8%. This one was not called for. And then for the month, this one has 352 stitches. So this is also stitched on a 32 count. Again, you can tell it's like a lot softer. And I've just been working and filling in some of this corner up here. There's a lot of light colors, as you can see, like there's a ton of white in here. I think it is or it's the 3865, one of the two. But yeah, so I've been just trying to fill in this kind of top corner so I can kind of just start filling other stuff in. So that one is pricks everywhere. Like I said, I will go through and try to put in pictures. The next one I'm going to show y'all, and I will take this one out of the Q-Snap, this is going to be the LGBTQ Quaker flag, Quaker flag by Beasters. I love this project. So I usually will use this as like a travel project because this fabric is like a 28 count even weave and antique ivory, I think. It is, but I got it on 1 2 3 stitch. It's so easy to see. I love it. And you can see whole thing. So you can kind of see. So I've been working in the black. So I've been kind of I worked on, let's see here. I have to figure out where my camera is. So yeah, so I worked on those 2 black squares there, but I did all of the colors. That way I can just kind of take it with me whenever I go and just stitch whatever color I feel like stitching. So this one, you fold this back up, shove it back in its bag. Oh, I do have a final picture of it too. This is what that is gonna look like when it's done. So that one, okay, we're not gonna mess with too much of that right now, I guess. Okay, so the flag, since we saw it last time, actually came out 3 times for temperature. So that was, I did a total of 309 stitches on that one. And we are sitting at 19,784 out of 45,511. So we are at a 43.47% on that one. Stitching it 2/2 with called for DMC. And then a total for this month on that one was 410 stitches. The next one I'm gonna pull out will be this is the Luminous Fiber Arts. This is the Enchanted Quaker. The artwork is by Misty Purcell. That's what it will look like when it's done. I'm using a variegated floss. This is the project that I call Lessons in Variegation because I've never used variegated floss before. I'm using, it's like let's see if I can find it in here. It is like a hand-dyed by Rolanda. And it is like this kind of Halloween-y, I know it's all a mess, but it's like this Halloween color. So it's purple, black, and orange. I'm stitching this on, let's see, I know I still have the tag on here. This is called Boneyard by Bestitch Me. It's a 28 count Lugana, and I'm stitching this 2/2. So just working in this witch, as you can, so in here, you can kind of see. So in here, I just folded the strand and just went with it. You can tell in the cat, like you can see, I have changed that. So now I'm just taking the strand, leaving it as is, and just stitching as it pops. So, yeah, so that's why I call this Lessons in Variegation, because I'm just trying to figure out how I like it. But there's, you can kind of see in there as well, all the different. So yeah, this one's fun. I love doing like the Quaker style pieces because it's almost like every single time that you get a motif done, it's like a little finish. So this one is also a temperature stitch, and let's see, where is, I have to read my own handwriting. That came out once since I was here on the 11th, and that got 108 stitches. We are at 4,242 out of, looks like 11,381 for 37.27%. Yeah, and then for the month, that one got Apparently I didn't write it down. No surprise. I think that's all that it got last month though. It may have gotten another 100, but it didn't get much. Let me put this thread away before I lose that. And that leads me to Lola Crow. So this one is the Deadly Aquarium style. This is, I think now it's like 2 years old. This is another temperature stitch, and this only came out once since y'all saw it on the 11th, and this got 100 stitches exactly. So we are sitting at 2,365 out of 18,622 stitches. So this is 12.7%. I'm stitching this on, I know that the fabric is called Beanstalk. I think it's a Picture This Plus. I think it's a Picture This Plus. And I can't remember if it's, I think it's a 28 count. I'm stitching it 1/1. So the stitches that I added were primarily here, and then there were some colors. You can maybe see there's some lighter stitches in there. Yeah, so, and then my needle minders from Agnes Needle Minders. Agnes Little Minders, I think it is. So yeah. That is, and I'm doing it with all the called for like DMC and stuff. So, and that one total for the month got 200 stitches, so not many. My next project that I have is gonna be, I have to pull all my floss out for this one first because it's in a little project bag that I kind of have to cram in here. I will take the edge of this off so we can kind of see. Well, should have done this before, sorry y'all. I wasn't planning on taking them out of Q-Snaps, but this is Cozy Christmas. This is by Donna Gelsinger, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the tree, also another tree from hell. I love, like, there's so many projects that I love, and as soon as I see something and I'm like, oh, I love that, oh, it has a tree, no thank you, that's a pass for me. If y'all know Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, which we all do, she's working on Honeymoon Sunset. I also have Honeymoon Sunset. Y'all haven't seen it for a while for a reason. It's, yeah, I call that tree Satan's toilet brush, because there's the palm tree is so much confetti, and this is really no different, honestly. That star took forever. So I actually am working this way now. So I actually am working on this section here, which is going to be, I think, like the mantle, like the fireplace area. Yeah, because I just got tired of working on that tree. Initially my thought was, oh, I'm just gonna finish the tree. I'm just gonna do the tree, get it done and out of the way. No. I'm stitching this on a 32 count, even weave, easy guide, and I'm actually doing this 2/1 tent stitch with DMC. It is a little tight, which is another reason why I hate that tree and confetti. But the coverage on it, I love. So we're rolling with it. I actually just switched to some of the Pony brand needles. I normally will stitch most of my projects with a ball tip needle, one of the Sullivan's ball tip needles. I love those needles, but for these projects on the smaller count, or I should say the higher count fabric and the confetti and how tight it is, I actually have found I really like the 28, the size 28 Pony brand needle. So that's what I've been using, and it's been helping a lot get through some of that confetti. So give me the stats already, right, Kim? So let's see here. This came out 3 times since I saw y'all on the 11th, and this got a total of, so it was called for 300 stitches. I actually did an extra 157 for a total of 457. And then for the entire month, it got 857 stitches. And so we are at 44,580 out of 440,450. I am at a 10.12%. And this one is one of my temperature stitches, and so this one actually got called once this coming week, and I owe it one other one from last week. So I do some of the Facebook games and stuff, and so 10 stitches tend to be like, so for every one full stitch is like 2 half, and so when it gets called once, it's like 50 stitches, and it's just not worth it. And so I'll usually wait until it comes around another time to at least get 200 stitches in, so I can count it as 100 stitches for my stitching games. So yeah, so that's Cozy Christmas. And then here's all of the floss. I use these thingies. I don't hate them. They're okay. I've thought about actually just doing a full set, because where I sit and stitch on the couch, it might just make sense just to do a full set of DMC on one of those instead of constantly kind of like going back and forth and having one set for each project. So we'll see. I'm getting down to the last couple here. So the other one is this one that I'm gonna pull out now. Again, I have to pull the floss first because there's a lot of it, because it's a super size max color. But there's also a lot of fabric, so I need to pull all of this out to be able to get the project out. I absolutely love this project, and yes, I am parking because I'm stitching on it for a diagonal right now. However, that might change. I might actually just go back to cross country the way that I like to stitch, so we'll see. Just because, one, these threads are annoying me, and two, again, with the needle change, it's been such a breeze to get through some of the heavier confetti areas, and I feel like I'm taking forever to finish a diagonal. So this is also a temperature stitch for me. This is gonna be the Amazing Animal Kingdom. This is super size max color. If you want to see some amazing progress on this, go over and check out Sasiki's Flosstube. I'm sure if you're here, you've probably seen her Flosstube. You know who she is. She's doing this, I think, for one of her kids, and she's making really good progress on it. So every time that I pull this out, I don't want to stop stitching on it, but I make myself stop stitching on it because, again, Chimera is the focus. So this one came out 3 times. Let me just flip it around here. So this one came out 3 times since y'all saw it last, and I am working on this diagonal here. And so this got a total of 316 stitches. This is called for 2 times this week, so I'm pretty excited about getting another 200 stitches in, which means I really need to decide what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna go to cross country or if I'm just gonna keep filling in by the diagonal. They both have their pros and cons, and I don't know, for the confetti, and I mean, I like working in the diagonal and seeing all the things and getting to work in different areas, but also those hanging threads are driving me nuts, and they're just going to be more as I go, so we'll see. So yeah, so that one has a total of, if I didn't say this already, I did a total of 316 stitches on it. That is 5,688 stitches in out of 763,702 for 0.74%. I would like to get that one to at least 1% by the end of this year, but we'll see. I'm stitching that on a 32 count easy guide Lugana. I'm stitching it 1/1 with DMC. And because I mean, it's already big enough, so I didn't want to make it too big by stitching it. My favorite, I think, is honestly going to be probably 25 count to 1/1 full cross. That's my jam. I really like that. I can see it without a magnifier, which means that I can take projects with me. It's actually what I didn't say it, but it's what Chimera is on, is 25 count. I'm doing that 1/1. So I really like that. And so for a total for this month, for Animal Kingdom, it was 720 stitches. The next one, and I believe it's the last one that I have, is the Red Panda. So this is also a temperature stitch. It was called 4 for once this week, so I'll be stitching on it once. This is, I got an awesome, this is being stitched on Mystic Fabrics. This is a fabric of the month from February 2022. This is called Atypical. This is 32 count Belfast linen, and it is an opal. So I don't, yeah, oh yeah, you can see it. That's cool. Yay. So this is Red Panda. Red Panda is my arch nemesis right now, because I don't really want to talk bad about any designers, but this is, as you can see, it has so much confetti stitching. I mean, it's not that it's like bad. It just seems like it could have been charted a little bit better as far as the confetti goes. Like, I don't feel like I need 12 different shades of tan in his ear, and there's only like 5 or 6 stitches of each color. So we'll see. So this is Clothable Red Panda. This is by BDXL Cross Stitch, I think. It's my only pattern from them. I've caught them kind of charting some copyrighted charts from other people, and so that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for them. So I haven't bought anything else from them. So this one is called For Twice. And I put in here that I did it twice, but I also didn't put in how many stitches I did, but I'm guessing I did 200 on it. Pretty sure. If it was called for twice. This is going to be called for again this week, so I will be pulling it out to do another 100. And so far for the month of November, that one got 308 stitches, so 200 would make sense. Again, I'm just working in those ears. I'm just trying to fill in the ears, and then I'll kind of work my way down. So, I think that is it for my November by the numbers. Let me just double check and make sure that I let y'all know everything. It looks like it. So those are my 12 projects that I've worked on. 11 actually, but because I didn't bring down Haunted House. And my temperature stitching. And so plans. My initial plans for temperature stitching was that I was going to do them to 2000. So however many times that they're called, up to 2000. And then I was going to put them away, spin the wheel, and pick different projects. However, I think for my supersize max color for the Amazing Animal Kingdom, I think I'm just going to keep it on there. I love how much progress I'm getting on that one, and especially when I have so many other projects that I want to work on, that is definitely a project that I want to finish before my time here expires. And so I think I'm going to keep that one on. Some of the smaller projects like the Haunted House, for the Fabulous House series, the tarot cards, stuff like that, I might just like rotate out once they do hit their stitch counts, if they're not finished, which I don't think that the house will be. The tarot card might be. But yeah, there's going to be projects on there that you'll probably see pretty frequently, because I really love stitching on them, and it gives me that kind of goal to work on them, even if it's only for, 100 stitches or 200 stitches or however many times it gets called for the week. So yeah, so I'm going to I think that's my plan for that. And then I'm hoping to come back here at least twice a month, I think. I think my plan is going to be coming back like towards the beginning of the month, probably around the 1st. And then again, probably like mid-month, so I can show y'all what I've been doing. Even if it's not a lot of stitches, I think I just still want to come back and share what I'm doing with you all. So it doesn't seem so overwhelming and I don't get out of the rhythm of recording. So I think that's my plan right now. I will be back probably closer to the end of December with my whip parade. So I'll bring everything I worked on this year. I think so far there's maybe 1 project or 2 projects that I haven't worked on. Maybe I'll try to work on those so I can show everything. But I'm off between Christmas and New Year, so that's probably when I will record that and have more time to do that. So yeah, I will be back here technically maybe 3 times this month, or maybe we'll just kind of do Flosstube / whip parades since it would be the end of the month, and I can just share my updates at that point about where I am for the month of December. I can't believe we're in December already. Oh my gosh, where did the year go? I think that's it for me. Thank you all so much for hanging out for the last 36 minutes. If you're still here, I really appreciate it. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know what of my projects you like. Maybe you want to see more of. Maybe I'm always down for a challenge. So if anybody wants to throw a challenge out there, I'm always down for a good fun challenge. Oh, plans. I did forget. In the month of November, oh my gosh, in the month of December, Jade, the 310 Stitcher, and I are going to start the 6 portals from Pain Free Crafts. I believe that is a Rose Con pattern. It's the big one that everybody's doing. Jen the Caffeinated Crafter is doing it. I think Sasiki's doing it. There's other Flosstubers who are doing it. I wasn't planning on starting another ginormous project, but I love the colors on that one and the portals. Not all of them are my favorite, but yeah. I love the way that Jen's stitching it, which she's stitching, like she stitched all the way across and then she's just adding like stitches to it, like by the color, like she's just rotating through. I don't know how I'm gonna stitch it yet. I think it's gonna be a 1/1 full cross situation, but we'll see. So yeah, so that's gonna be a planned new start. I also did join the hate sale for 2026. I'm doing the dragonflies. Okay, now I think that officially that is all of the plans that I have, and if not, I will share any additional plans the next time I am here. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday season. I know things are starting to get a little chaotic with family and friends and all of the fun holiday things that people do as holiday traditions. If you have any cool traditions, let me know. We do cookies, and holidays are a little bit different because it's the first holiday that my wife's grandfather is not here, and so grandma will be 95 in May, and so it's her first holiday without her husband of 70 plus years. So my mother-in-law is doing a lot of traveling, and so our holidays have been kind of shifted and moved around, but that's fine. Yeah, that's it. I think for me, I'm gonna stop rambling on now and keeping y'all hostage here, and thank you again, and I will see you hopefully in a couple of weeks.